right. Well, hey, welcome everybody. This is the inaugural podcast for the SWGOH In-Depth, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, indepth.com podcast. This is a Team Skunk production. We are coming to you on Tuesday night from the Republic server. We got representations, though, of people all over Team Skunk. We got an awesome group here, good guys, and maybe we'll get some good women in as well eventually. We're calling this podcast for now. We're calling it a deep dive into the forums. We want to look at things that have come up online. There's such an awesome online community in this game. You've got the forums, you've got people doing podcasts, you've got the YouTube producers. So we want to take a look at that stuff. It's impossible, at least I've found, to absorb all that myself. So maybe we can learn from each other and what everybody else has seen, what's going on in the game today. So my name is Appropriate Name. I'm going to be one of the co-hosts for the podcast. Naughty Karate is here as well. What's up, Naughty?
What's up, man? I am here.
That's right, dude. You're coming to us straight from the West Coast, right?
From the West Coast. The sun hasn't even set here.
So Naughty's going to be our other co-host here. He's out in Hawaii. We got an awesome group here. So let me go ahead and introduce everybody. So we have the one, the only, the legendary Princess Zodi inventor, McMole 2. What's up, buddy?
Hey, guys.
So we're really happy McMole made the time to come out tonight. We have EWF, or now it's EW, I think, from Corellia. What's up, buddy?
Hey, man. How's it going?
All right. Doing good, man. And good old Maurice is here, at least for a little bit. He's blessed us with his presence. Good old Maurice is one of the free-to-play genius theory crafters in the game. If you have never seen his YouTube stuff, it doesn't come out a lot, but it is epic when it comes out. What's up, man? Thanks for coming.
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for having me.
And we've got Cam on. He's another one of our Team Skunk YouTube producers. He has his mic muted though, so I'm not going to introduce him. Hey, there he is. What's up, buddy?
Hey, how you guys doing?
Well, good, man. Thanks for coming out, dude. We've got Methos from the Team Skunk Knights. What's up, bro?
Hey, what's going on?
And Methos and me have talked on. We've talked on typing and text, but we've never talked in person. Is it Methos or is it Mythos, dude?
It's Mythos.
It's Mythos. I'm so glad I asked, because that would have, like, the whole rest of this podcast, you'd be like, dude, this guy keeps calling me the wrong name, and I wouldn't have even known.
Yeah, good call. Good call.
We got Morningstar 013. What's up, dude?
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me.
So on SWGOHindepth.com, we've got a really sick heroic AAT guide that a lot of people have put a lot of work into. McMole's here; he's done a lot of work on it. And one of the most recent updates we have there is a list. It's a spreadsheet actually of all of the current, because it's changing like every week right now. All of the current HAAT teams, right? Heroic AAT teams. Zed is included. And that is the brainchild of Morningstar. So if you've never checked out the HAAT guide, the Heroic AAT guide, get on there, check it out. Towards the top of the page, you'll see that link, and it is constantly up to date, because you keep that thing pretty current, don't you, buddy?
I do my best to. I mean, check the forums, check YouTube. Every few days I try and find something if there's worth throwing on it.
Nice, buddy. Yeah, man. Well, we appreciate you coming, dude. And we also, Morningstar just did a really epic video. We can talk about it a little bit, maybe, if we've got time. My name is Sue. What's up, dude?
How do you do?
My name is Sue. Is one of the coolest people to hang out with on voice chat in the world, man. Omega, what's up, dude?
I am here.
Dude, Omega's a legend. If you don't know Omega, you've heard of him. If you haven't heard of him, then you haven't been around very long. He's a legend. Thanks for coming up, buddy. Panda's here. What's up, Panda? Straight from the Caribbean.
Hey, thanks for having me.
And the Father. What's up, dude?
Yeah, how's it going?
So the Father is a good friend of mine, and he did me the humongous favor of being unable to be guild leader for Team Skunk Indoor right now. So now I get to be guild leader for Team Skunk Indoor, and I'm learning that you basically were doing everything for these people for like the past 3 months. Is that accurate?
That's accurate, yes.
It's like, oh, don't you launch all the raids like that? But anyway, we can get into that later. But thanks for coming out, man. So let's get into our forum material. There was one of the better produced podcasts in the Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes universe. you've probably listened to it or heard of it. It's put out by Radio Free Tatooine. Called the Galactic War Update. You guys ever listen to that?
I have not.
Oh yeah, it's really good.
No, I listen to them every week.
Yeah, so
Good, man.
So they just did an interview with EA Jesse, and since we can't get EA Jesse to come on our podcast, I figured we could see some updates that he gave them, and we could talk about it and see what you guys thought. So one thing, but before we actually do it, before we even get into that, dude, let's talk about some breaking Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes news. Did you guys hear about the upcoming quality of life game improvements? This was just announced tonight.
Yeah, I heard about it.
Yeah, I think.
Tell us more.
Yeah, so basically the update. Hold on, let me reload my notes page on my iPad. The updates, there's going to be 12 parts overall, and we don't know what 10 out of 12 of those parts are. The two that we know about, it's going to go like this. There's going to be a select and save squad feature. So you've got your PvP squad, right? You've got your heroic AAT phase 1, 2, 3, and 4 different teams. Maybe you've even got different teams for each phase if you're McMole too, and you're experimenting and you're at the bleeding edge of content creation, or you've got your pit team too. So you're going to be able to save all of these different teams, and it'll just preload, right? If there's a picture on the website,
I'm seeing there like different tabs that you can set up and save your squads for like arena and each of the raids under separate tabs, so that's going to be really helpful.
Yeah, the update that I'm looking forward to also is that you can speed up the animation of characters in battle without affecting the time of the battle, so that you can beat timeout teams, apparently.
So no more losing to 7.5-minute battles to waste Mace Windu in the fleet.
I hate it when that
Good
happens.
times.
That seems to be what. Please, someone correct me if that's wrong, but it seems like you can speed up those annoying animations, like Dooku's counterattack, or like a chase team, so that you can actually win in the allotted time.
Yes, that is accurate, and it means I'm guessing I'm gonna have to make up a new ship team now. No more Mace Windu lockout.
Oh, is that what you designed? That's funny.
No, I didn't design that, but I mean, I've been running that team endlessly in Arena.
I think the part of it that I'm like most excited for is Galactic War just became so much less of a chore.
Yeah, I think it's going to be anything that you can put on auto. It can go twice as fast, 3 times as fast, or 4 times as fast.
Yeah, I mean it's independent of auto from what I can tell.
Oh, really? I missed that part.
Yeah, so you can speed up the combat, and then you can set to auto if you want.
Ooh.
At least that's what I'm getting from this. Someone correct me if I'm wrong.
That's kind of what I gathered as well.
Yeah, I mean, but it's going to be great for me because that means I don't have to do these 40 to 50-minute Princess Zodi recording runs anymore. I just be up 4 times as fast and just go at it and not have to deal with this.
Yeah, and also for those that are able to solo the Ranker. Like, I can't solo the Ranker, so I don't know how long it takes, but doesn't it take like an hour and 20 minutes or something?
It's more in the range of about 45 to 50 minutes if your team's modded well.
Nice. So now you're looking, like 20 minutes for that, probably tops if you do that at 4 times speed. So that's 2 out of 12. They haven't told us what the other 10 are going to be. So those are the new quality of life improvements. And that was just announced tonight. So that's pretty sweet. Some other things we have going on in the game is if you're a newer player and you don't have Emperor Palpatine, that event's going to come out March 9th. So what's that, like 2 weeks or something like that?
Yes.
So that's going to be huge. If you're a newer player, you don't have Emperor Palpatine, he's table stakes at this point in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. So you do whatever you need to do to get your to get your rebels up and get your Emperor Palpatine. Man, he's clutch. I don't even use him that much, but you just have to have him. Some other things that came up in the EA Jesse interview that I thought was interesting. This is one. So the way that I got into this game personally was the Clone Wars cartoon series that ran back on the Cartoon Network, back in the day for 6 seasons. I love that, right? Nowadays with my kids, I watch the Rebels series on Disney XD, and it's not quite as good. It gets better every year, but it's pretty good. This is a quote from EA Jesse when they asked him if that's going to be, if we're going to see any of those characters. They quote, "Might be coming sooner than you think." So I thought that was a little interesting. That's something I hadn't heard anything about. Anybody heard anything about that or have any opinions on that?
I've heard people talk about rumors.
Sorry, guys, I'm coming in kind of late here.
Ooh, we got Miles Riker, the one and only. What's up, buddy? How you doing?
I'm doing all right. What's going on, guys?
We're doing well, man. So we're just going through current news, current events in the game, talking about some Star Wars Rebels characters from the new series coming out in the game.
So, someone did a data mine, 1-2 months ago, where they uncovered, I think at least Ezra was in the data files for Galaxy of Heroes.
Ooh.
And I think there was at least one other Rebels character in there. I can't remember who it was. But yeah, someone did a data mine and found files for them in there. So they're somewhat in the game. So yeah, I mean they could be coming with the next couple of months.
Like right when I
heard
started
someone
playing,
say Embo.
Yeah, something about Embo's in there too.
Who's
if you
who's
look at all the
Imbo?
old data mines, they have all of the Star Wars Rebels listed in the game. The files are in there, including Embo from Clone Wars and a few of the other bounty hunters.
Dude, I feel like so ashamed right now because I love that series, but who is Imbo? How am I missing this?
So I'm pretty sure Embo is Supreme Leader Snoke confirmed.
So Lightside Hard Mission 9B, he's that boss at the final stage, the one that destroys everybody.
Okay. Very cool.
He throws his hat like in the guy in Austin Powers.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
he's
have
a
you
Clone
seen
Wars
the Clone
character.
Wars? Yeah, he throws his hat in the Clone Wars episode that he's in as well. It's pretty awesome.
He's like a Chinese Captain America. Or Captain China.
He was the second bounty, he was the second most VA bounty hunter in the galaxy, second to Cad Bane at the time. I know a lot about Star Wars, so I know Embo pretty well. You remember watching the Darth Maul episode? Like that kind of series in the Season 5 Clone Wars?
I remember it.
Yeah, Embo was kind of like Jabba's like bodyguard for a little bit.
Okay. So I got to go back and watch that. I definitely remember Darth Maul episodes, but so one of the things that's coming out in the game, like we're in the middle of it right now, is this huge shift towards Sith here in February. So I wanted to see, since we got all these great minds in one place, I wanted to see if you guys had any theory crafting ideas. I'm personally really interested in Sith Assassin, and then we haven't seen, of course, Nihilus yet, but it sounds like that's going to be epic. I can give you guys some more details if we need to get it going, but does anybody already have anything primed up as far as what you're pumped about for any of these new Sith?
So, I know we mentioned earlier on the content team channel about Sith Assassin and how she's basically going to be Tebow 2.0 behind a Darth Maul Zeta lead.
Yep.
Break that down for me, because I don't understand it.
So, the Darth Maul Zeta lead, right now it has that any Sith, when they evade an attack, they gain 20% turn meter, and they gain stealth for 1 turn. And Sith Assassin, she has 2 abilities that can give her stealth for 2 turns. The problem is, if she evades an attack while she's already stealth from one of those abilities, she gains the stealth from Darth Maul Zeta, and then when she goes again, her stealth is gone. The problem with that is her attacks, they're strong because they can bypass protection as long as she's stealthed.
Well, isn't there? Let me pull up the abilities. But if she's
already got stealth,
she's already got stealth. It gives everybody, what is it, like 6.5% turn meter? It totals up in the 48.
Up to 12.
I think it's 15 at level 8.
No, it's 12% turn meter for each buff that's on her when she uses her Dark Shroud.
So if she's getting stealth constantly under Zeta Maul lead, that's going to be a lot of turn meter for a lot of Sith.
No, she has to use the ability. It's not a passive thing.
Oh, so she's not giving turn meter to I thought she was giving turn meter to everybody else when she moves if she has these buffs.
No, it's Dark Shroud's a 3-turn cooldown. Dispels all debuffs from her, gains stealth and foresight for 2 turns. If she already has stealth, she gains speed up and tenacity up for 2 turns. Sith allies gain 12% turn meter for each buff that's on her.
Okay, all right. Very
So
cool.
yeah, so the problem is, if Zal overrides her stealth, the next time she moves, she loses that stealth, and then she gains advantage instead.
Is that similar to the Tebow book? If he's leading and half?
Yeah, it's Tebow 2.0.
Okay.
I was going to say, I don't think that's working as intended, but yeah, you're right. It is totally Tebow 2.0.
It's bugged, and the fact that they want to charge $500 for people to get her 7 stars. I mean, good luck with that. I mean, I was really considering going all in on her, and then I saw this, and I was about to Zeta them all anyways.
Oh, no. So that should be everybody's icing on the cake as far as, there's no way. I mean, like, if you're going to be handing over money at this point for that, I mean, you got problems, dude.
Yeah.
But just a content plug here, if you do hand over money and you do 7-star Sith Assassin and you want your video on SWGOH indepth.com, hit me up and we will put it on there because content's content. So I'm not going to judge, everybody else can. But no, I definitely...
That's how I'll tell my subscribers.
Oh, no, so you feel free to DM me, man. We'll chat.
Yeah. DM Miles and he'll convince you otherwise. So this was pretty cool. So I listened to the big boys do the podcast, right? And they're talking to EA Jesse, and a lot of times, like, dev comments are broad in general, and they don't get into like dev theory crafting. Like, I've never heard this before. But EA Jesse, he goes off on this thing. Let me read you guys my summary of it because it was involving Sith Assassin. So he's basically saying he was really surprised that no one is doing this yet. You link up Savage Press and Sith Assassin because you've got and what you're trying to do is basically like completely bypass your opponent character, whatever one you're trying to kill, their protection. So you're gonna have wait, I'm sorry, I'm totally off on this. Is it Sith Assassin or is it Nihilist that's going to bypass protection?
It's both Sith Assassin, Nihilist, and the Sith Trooper.
That's what it was. All right, yeah. So Sith Assassin, basically, if you can get, you say you're taking down whoever, Biggs, and he's got full protection. Let's do Wedge because you're not going to attack Biggs first. But so you're taking out Wedge. He's got full protection. If you can get his health to less than 50%, with a protection bypassing character, then you take Savage in there. Because with Savage's buffs, anything under 50%, he's probably going to just take out one hit. I mean, it sounds like you could be, the beginning of a PvP match, taking out, the most valuable character of your opponent without even touching their protection, potentially.
Yeah, I mean, that's also combined with Nihilists. You can do, if you have someone out there who can do AoE debuffs like Maul, and then you follow up with a Nihilist Force Strain to drop the cooldown on his Annihilate, you could potentially look at a insta-kill from Savage and insta-kill from Nihilist within 2 or 3 turns. I mean, that's huge for an arena match.
That is huge. Who here is prepared for that kind of team? I'm curious. Other than Nihilist.
I don't know.
I think the only thing that counters
another Sith team is the only thing that counters that.
I mean Rex. Let's go ahead and get out of the way, Rex. I mean, if you're going to be sitting in a Sith Heavy Shard, run Rex.
No. You run Newt Gunray with Sith Assassin.
Stop it.
Your Sith Assassin is going to go so many more times the other team.
Oh my gosh.
I am so excited about the Sith Assassin because you guys talked about the data mine, right? And Newt Gunray is supposed to be getting the ship. So you're going to be leveling him up anyway. And it's a way to use him. Like, Newt's
this is all
capability.
Hypothetical, right?
I mean, you're talking 55% crit chance and 30% turn meter every time Sith Assassin goes. Behind Newt Gunray.
Dude.
Doesn't Newt Gunray need like 6 Ranko Raid pieces?
Well, I'm saying, I mean, you're going to level him up anyway for a ship eventually.
For his hypothetical ship, right? Or is it confirmed he's getting
No, it's not confirmed. But you guys mentioned the data mine earlier. He's in there.
So let me just ask one question because I'm one of these few people who's not totally up on the abilities of Newt Gunray. I haven't used him in a couple days, but how does he fit into this?
His leadership ability gives all stealth allies 55% crit chance and 30% turn meter when they land a crit hit.
And so then you're going to plug Sith Assassin in there, and every time she crits...
Correct. She gets 30% turn meter, and she just keeps going and going and going. You have other stealth allies, such as my spy.
So what you're saying is that she's the Sith version of Clone Sergeant.
She's going to go a ton, yeah.
Okay. So what we're really talking about is the final. Finally, we've been waiting for it forever. The relevance of the anti-Sith meta, which is the one and only Plow Koon, because he has absolutely no other use in the game at all.
Well, these
wait, what?
I have no idea what Plow Koon does.
He's got a ship, man.
So,
he's got a good ship.
So Plo Koon's leadership ability is what has a 30% chance to remove stealth at the start of each character's turn.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I just love it. Yeah, so somebody who's not here tonight is Jap Wizard, who's a good friend of mine. I've been in guilds with Wiz for the whole time I played this game. He was my first guild leader, and so back in the day when everybody was like getting on the Lando, the Lando train, he farmed. What's his name? The guy we were just talking about. Death Rattle, help me out.
Newt?
Yeah, he farmed Newt, and we've been ripping on him for farming. That's how irrelevant Newt is. I can't remember the dude's name. He farmed Newt over Lando. We've been ripping on him forever, and now he's finally going to be relevant. I love it.
What's everyone talking about in text? Oh, you know what's funny to me? In most movies, just so you can, in Clone Wars, just so that you can tell which character is without a helmet, they will leave behind literally the most valuable piece of armor you could take into battle. Like if you don't have a helmet, if that was the only thing you had, you'd be way better off, but everyone doesn't wear a helmet in Star Wars. It's kind of crazy.
So for the people listening in on this podcast right now, confused by what we're talking about, someone posted in voice chat, someone on Reddit posted a picture of Fives with his helmet on, and yeah, it's been catching fire on the Reddit today.
Oh, dude, I'm looking at that picture right now. That is pretty sweet looking, man.
It is.
I just realized we were talking about leaving RPGs behind. Everybody listening to the podcast is going to be like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
My theory with that has been it was just a way to save money on animation, because like if you look at Fives and you look at Echo is like Fives like slouching with really bad posture. Have you guys ever noticed that? I mean, they're clones, so.
Dude, I swear, if I get one more person asking me what when they're looking at my damage post, which clone is which, I'm just gonna punch a wall.
Dude, he's not slouching.
Dude,
he's swagger.
just zoom in on the picture. Who has the goatee? There, you're good. That's Fives.
Dude, Fives haircut.
Actually, the reason why they do that with helmets in movies and shows is to avoid confusing the storyline, because people don't know who's who. Game of Thrones is the same thing. People walk around in like 80 pounds of armor with no helmet and go into sword battle. It's not wise, but at least you know who's who. That's why they do that.
Do you know how much CG costs in Star Wars Episode 2? Of course they were going to put helmets on everybody.
Oh, man.
That's also a good point, Miles.
Can you
imagine? Not to destroy the illusion or kill the magic or anything, but...
See, you think that's all CG. Actually, what happened was they actually cloned one guy over and over again.
It was actually cheaper.
One real guy.
One real person.
Yeah, they actually have 100,000 clones of this one guy sitting on the screen at once. That ain't CGI.
So,
this was filmed in international waters, away from various cloning laws.
I'm pretty sure in South Korea that you can clone anything you want. I think that's where they did Dolly the Lamb. So I'm looking at Reddit right now. So I did not know this was possible. I was actually just spending ally points right before we started this podcast, because EA Jesse's basically said, I'm not going to promise we're never going to do anything with ally points again, but right now we have no plan to do anything with ally points, which makes me think that if they do anything, it's going to be like 6 months away. So this guy pulled a Mark III Carbanti full sensor off of Bronzium. So that's going to make me, I've got like 300k left, that's going to make me just sit there and hit buy again and finish over and over tonight.
Isn't valuable a piece of gear, though?
Stop it. You're never going to get a Mark III Carbonti from Bronziums.
Something else.
Like,
real quick, I'm going to look at what you can pull out of bronzes. I don't think you can get the 50-piece gear anymore.
I don't know. What were you saying, good old Maurice?
Well, they also were discussing the possibility of a spend all your ally points button and just give you like a huge screen of, kind of like you do multiple sim like 20 times,
Dude, that would be
like you
epic.
Sim 20 pulls or all your coins. They were discussing that on that podcast as well.
I did see that they were doing a lot of quality of life stuff, which is really cool because then that includes the ×4 autoplay as well.
Well, that could be something that's coming. Maybe just like if you got 400,000 ally points, instead of clicking the button, 84,000 times, you just get spend a mass bulk at once. Because that's honestly the reason I'll never open Bronziums, because I'm not going to sit there for an hour and a half.
I don't have 2 hours to sit on
like
the
2.5 hours between my 2 accounts just hitting that damn button.
Well, there's that, and then good old Maurice is one of the very few that saved up his Bronziums and has a 7-star gen straight from the tournaments.
Nice.
You know what? I'm curious if anyone thinks that hoarding allied tokens at this point is a wise choice at all until it's at least easy to burn. I have 400,000, but until I can burn them all and not tap on everything, is there any idea for saving them with the news?
I'm saving them. I'm hoarding all of them.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't really said what they're using them for. They're still in the game, so I don't need anything from Bronzium right now. At least not that I care. But I really don't see a reason to blow them all like that, honestly.
Yeah, until you get a full Mark III.
All of mine.
You're not going to get, a Carbonti from them, man. That's like winning a car in Vegas. Just ask Omega how hard that is.
I'll tell you what I did get one time.
Pretty hard.
I got a Mark V Chihuahua hypo syringe. That's the
see, that's one of the bad ones, though.
Oh, yeah, the MK3 Carbonti is the only 50-piece gear that you can pull from Bronziums.
For anybody playing longer than 6 months, what are you going to get out of there that you need?
you're going to get shard shop currency.
I was going to say,
I'm a Gundy.
I spent 300,000 on each of my accounts, and I mean, I still don't have a bunch of the characters. I ended up pulling like 50 shards for the Royal Guard, like 75 shards for Clone Trooper over it all. So I'll take it.
Yeah, it's pretty solid, yeah.
Yeah, if you don't have all the carrots. Speaking of buying packs, though, so when the so I'm about to run Baze and Shurit in Arena, right? And so I had Shurit like 7 shards away from 4 stars, so I bought some of these new chromiums, and the only full character unlock I got, wish it would have been a Bronzium, was the Gamorrean Guard. So can anybody give me like any redempting thing I can do with Gamorrean Guard? When you've got a taunt counter, you'd think like something would be useful with the guy, right?
I mean, he gains protection back.
Really? He gained protection?
Sunfac before Sunfac was available free to play, I guess. But now there's no. Why would you farm him over Sunfac? Just use Sunfac.
Dude, I'm heartbroken. I only got on the Sunfac train like I don't know 2 months ago, and now now that Baze is here, like it's not he's not special anymore, man. I love Sunfac so much.
Yeah, me too.
I think I can still make him relevant. That's my goal, is to keep Sunfac relevant.
I still use him in both my arena teams.
I love it. I mean, if they ever do anything with the Separatist faction on the the actual character side of it, he'll be nice to have.
And his ship's pretty nice too.
Yeah, Sunfac's chip is good, and he's really good for Phase 3. That's pretty much.
Oh, he's a required tank for Phase 3.
So
Panda, if you're there right now, you said you spent 300K and you still have over 1 million points left.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. Panda,
God,
you're the
man.
guy that if I can get 3 or 4 sentences of wisdom out of you, I always want to hear it. So, are you just going to hoard your ally tokens until they're easier to spend, or what?
Oh, most definitely. I'm tired clicking the same button over and over.
I'm so saddened that Wiz is not here right now. But if you want to see Jap Wizard's Newt Gunray, I had Jap Wizard write a piece. It's in the SWGOH indepth.com guilty pleasures section. He's got like a whole like mini essay on how much he loves his until now maybe useless new gun race. So if you want to check that out, man, that's one of my favorite parts of the site. Nobody looks at it, but I'll tell you what I want to do. Good old Maurice is always telling me about all his failed projects. I want to get him to give me his worst failed project.
My Gear 11 regular Stormtrooper. Pretty bad investment.
What were you going to do with him?
I was going to. This is embarrassing. I was going to replace Sunfac in P3 with Stormtrooper because I was going to try this whole defensive stat mechanic and put Sunfac in my P1 team. And I did way better on P1, but I think I lost down to like 300,000 on P3. So Sunfac's back in there now.
Yeah, dude, but you know, sometimes you can't win them all. Dude, so speaking of things that you can't win them all, so one thing good old Maurice did win was the redemption of Asajj Ventress. And the word has not gotten out on that, man. Like, people do not realize the relevancy of Asajj Ventress. Can you like, I know we just talked about this like 6 weeks ago, but can you rehash that for us, good old Maurice?
Well, basically, man, she got reworked, right? She got reworked, and her Rampage ability now grants 15 base speed for every enemy that doesn't have a buff. So, like, if you're facing just like a Shore Trooper Empire team, she's getting 60 speed out of the gate. And yeah, she's got low base speed, but you add that 60 in, you know, put some mods on her, she's going faster than the other team. You can dispel the pre-taunt and just knock somebody out real quick. And it's 5 versus 4. You know? So
you've got a Shore Trooper or you've got a Baze you're going against. You know, you've got two like, you know, high tier pay to play players that, you know, now there's responses to, but they're expensive. And Asajj, you know, old Asajj who's sitting on your roster and you haven't even touched in 6 months. That's what I love about the work that Maurice does on this game, because that's the kind of stuff that he gets out. And just like being around the forums, on the podcast and stuff, people, that word on that hasn't gotten out. So I just wanted to plug it one more time.
She hits really hard, man. Her basic, you know, I'm critting for 14K on her basic, you know.
Actually, you know what's funny, Maurice? That when I saw that video, I felt very vindicated, because since I started playing the game, I've run an arena team with Ventress in, like, as my main core group of people, and I always felt really embarrassed about it until I saw that video. I was like, yes, that's what I'm doing. I just go and she kicks-ass and stuns people. So it's not that reliable.
Really good for like mid to end game players that have like got all their core tunes, you know, and there's like, who do I do next? And then, but you know, she's going to fade out if more people get this Qui-Gon Zeta. If people start getting these Cassians, get Cassian rolling, she's not going to be very useful because everyone's going to have a buff. You know, she's going to completely lose all of that speed.
That's true. Yeah.
If you're listening in and you want to check out Maurice's Asajj video, if you go to swgohindepth.com and go to the right side of the page where we have all the, you know, topical tags, and you go to Asajj, I'm pretty sure that's the only Asajj post we have on there. So check that out. It's from about 6 weeks ago, maybe 2 months, but that's something that the Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes universe missed out on. Yeah, what's up?
Your mic just got super loud.
Oh, snap, dude. Is it better now?
Yep.
Okay. I think I was too close to it, dude. My bad. Thank you.
You're too enthusiastic.
Yeah, I was about to say. I'm getting a little excited over there.
Yeah, dude. I'm always...
Damn Red Bull.
So, dude, I said before the show started, today I think I'm drinking enough Red Bull to kill a small baby rhinoceros. So I can't test that out because it's an endangered species. But so this is a topic that me and McMull too have not really gotten into yet. So I put a post on Reddit, and this is
God.
Yeah, here we go. So I'm just going to state my case, and then you'll get a chance to tell me why I'm wrong. So
can we wait a few minutes? I'm in the middle of the droid smuggling event.
Oh yeah, okay, all right. We'll wait a couple minutes. So we got something's coming. I'm getting made fun of right now on our voice general text chats by Death Rattle of Korriban. So if you ever pay attention to the site, swgohindepth.com, we get a lot of Death Rattle's content on there. Death Rattle is when I was just a baby, a Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes baby, I got into this awesome guild, and he was the resident whale. So he's my favorite whale. So every time Death Rattle puts something out on his YouTube site or something on Discord, he doesn't even know it. I give him credit, but it's getting on the site, man. He's always got good stuff. And the picture that he posted right now is just one of the best critiques of the game I've seen in a while.
Oh man, I now have a new one loaded in the chamber for this girl. You're my favorite whale.
You're my favorite whale. Oh, so speaking of which, so we made a schedule tonight. This is our first podcast. We're like, what are we going to talk about? And on the schedule actually is Naughty Karate's Love Life. So what would come up where you would tell that to give our listeners the rundown where this is even relevant, man?
What? Are you serious? Okay, I'll give you one anecdote.
He's so pissed right now. I love it.
This is what I told. I was talking to Morningstar before we started recording, but yesterday she came over. This is a girl who has basically picked me to be her side guy, and she's pretty cool, but she's all business. You know?
She's half Asian, I thought, right?
Yeah.
Ooh, sounds interesting.
I'm not posting pictures.
No, nobody's asking for pics. You were talking about. So you tell her about you tell this this woman who you're obviously in a very serious, committed, intimate relationship with. You tell her things about your Star Wars Galaxy of Hero game. I just find that interesting.
No, I don't. No, you interrupted me. Here was the anecdote. Can I have robot voice?
Yeah, you're robot voice.
Yeah, you're roboting.
Really? Okay, maybe I'll save it for later then. It's probably...
No, you're coming through fine for me. I'm recording. Go ahead, dude. We're good.
Really? Okay, so anyway, she came over and she said, I think she was in a bad mood because whoever her main guy isn't treating her right, and she came over to me and was like, I want to be treated like a princess. And I told her, like, well, I could force you into marriage with someone you don't love to strengthen our alliance with Russia. She didn't like that, but she didn't leave afterwards, so I think it was a good joke.
All right. So
okay, that's enough about that. Let's get back on point.
Awesome. Good talk, dude. Good talk. So
all right, I'm done with the droid event.
All right. So here was my Reddit post. Basically, this is what I was saying. I was saying, content creation tends to focus on in-game stuff, which is awesome. I love in-game stuff. What I'm noticing, if you hang out around Reddit, you hang out around the official forum, and then on our Team Skunk Discord servers, is you have players in pre-heroic guilds, guilds that cannot yet beat the heroic AAT, and they're like, oh, do I need to get Xylo for P1, or what about Princess Zodi for P2 or P4? And in my opinion, we got to tell them slow down and go ahead and farm those easy, efficient, boring teams. Jedi for P1, droids for P2, Chirpatine for P3, and rebels for P4. Because when you're in a guild like that, you want to get to heroic as quickly as possible, as easily as possible. You don't want to wait for some super long farm. And McMole was not having any of it, dude. So that's my case, man. I'll let you rip it apart.
So no, I was more giving you a hard time because you're like, yeah, no, don't worry about Zetas, and I'm like, who are you telling people not to worry about Zetas?
Oh yeah, no.
So yeah, I mean, you do have a point there, but at the same time, I mean, don't tell them they shouldn't try to look at Zetas either, because I mean, look how strong these Zetas are. I mean, if a guild's struggling with a certain phase, you get the right Zeta in, and that guild is just gonna clear that phase with no issues.
Yeah. If you're in go ahead, dude.
Yeah, if you get like a Zeta Kylo Ren for phase 1, if your guild's having problems with phase 1, I mean, you get someone there with a Zeta Kylo, then yeah, I mean, let's face the alternative facts here. I mean, yeah, you just gotta get a Zeta Kylo Ren in there and just kind of clear phase 1. So the random alternative facts is because someone in voice chat was like, someone just needs to say alternative facts in this, and yeah, there you go. You're welcome.
So this is a public service announcement for guilds. If you're in a guild that's not doing the heroic AAT, you've got Ranker on farm, and you're looking to get there. This is what's going to hold your guild back. Phase 2 of the heroic AAT, because nobody's going to have enough droid teams, and possibly phase 3, especially if you don't have the Emperor yet. So make sure you get that Emperor in March. We already talked about that. So don't, everybody's going all out. I remember those weeks and months before we got to heroic AAT. It's stressful times because the whales in your guild, they want to get there right away, and everybody's grinding, everybody's hard. Don't get super excited on your Jedi. Everybody's like grinding these Jedi like it's, what I bet you right now, 60% of, well, maybe not 60, 40% of all guilds in existence probably have the Jedi for P1. It's those droid teams, it's those Turpentine teams that really, get you over the hump, because those phases are beastly. Would you guys agree with that, or not really?
Oh, absolutely, man. Like, your P1 team is all the Jedi, right? And everybody needs, 86,000 to get their 2%?
Yeah.
You can do that with 5 Gear 9 Jedi, And I would almost suggest Resistance now over the droids, because, whether
really?
You like it or not, this new Sith meta has officially put the nail in the droid coffin. You know what I mean?
I don't know, man. That Zedator team, that looks like some good shit.
Well, yeah, but the Resistance you need for the speed mod challenge anyway, right? So everyone, that's been playing a while has all these, half-ass geared Resistance just to get through the speed challenge, and it's, the clones are better, but the clones are a lot harder to farm. Or, long term.
So for
Resistance are.
good old Maurice is actually working on a Resistance team right now for P2, aren't you?
Yeah, 3 million is definitely within reach with the Resistance team for P2.
Can you break it down for me, like how that team functions, how that I hear Zin, everybody throws Zin around, but I honestly don't know.
You gotta have the Zeta on Finn, absolutely.
Yes. Like, what are the mechanisms at work? Why is this working so well it's working well in arena for people? Like, what's up with this team? I don't use this team at all.
On defense, it's terrible, but on offense, it's effective. I wouldn't say it's like meta, but it can get you up into the top 20, top 10 if you gear them right. I don't know, man. I've only tried it maybe 4 or 5 times in the raid, so I still got a little bit of work to do on the mods, and before I really start, maybe put out a video and start discussing it. But pretty much, you just want to expose everybody and just go around the horn and pretty much just kill everything slowly. But all the time, nobody's getting to go. The tank never gets turn meter, because every time you hit an exposed target, you get 35% turn meter.
Oh, I didn't know. That's from the Zeta?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
all right.
Zeta basically gives, once an exposes pops, all Resistance allies get 35% turn meter.
Dude, I did not know that.
You can do 5% damage on a topple just because the tank never gets turn meter, because everybody on the team, with the exception of Rey, has some sort of exposed mechanic.
Okay, yeah. So we just put this is from one of our good buddies over at B-Road, Martini, and he had a video the other day of Galactic War, 0 hits. He made it through an entire Galactic War, didn't get hit once.
Oh man, they make Galactic War so easy.
Yeah, now I understand why. That's just so funny, because the whole time I played this game, I would look at a Resistance guy's kit, and you expose, blah blah blah, expose. You're just like, oh come on guys, expose is such a joke. And there you go, man. Zeta's to the.
But you're not doing. Expose is you're not there for the damage. I want to say it does 7,600. It does 7,651 on the whole. I think it's 11,000 something on the actual turrets, the exposed damage, which isn't that much, but it adds up. But you're doing it for the turn meter.
Hey, I'm curious, what kind of, as someone who just unlocked Rey as my only Resistance tool, what kind of time investment is required to actually have a team like that?
I wouldn't say it's any more difficult than the droids. I would say gear-wise they're pretty on par. They just take different stuff. Like droids take tons of furnaces, whereas the Resistance is a little more balanced. They take scanners and droid collars.
Yeah, all those farms are pretty easy except for Finn, right?
And you're going to need them. They're all shipment farms, every single one of them. Except for, I think Finn might even be in the fleet shipments. I'm not sure.
He's not.
No, but Rey's in the guild store in the hard nodes, and I think Trooper is in the guild store and hard nodes. Pilots in Galactic War, Poe's in Cantina shipments. And farming Finn sucks, but
He did say this team will require the Zetas.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
So now, just go back to the idea that droids might be a better suggestion for newer, upcoming players, as they're a team that can do well without any Zetas.
Well, but what else do the droids offer? Is my point. Like they don't have a mod challenge. You need speed mods, right? So you're going to need the resistance eventually anyway. And droids, this Sith meta is going to officially kill them. Like I don't have a single droid team in like the top 30 of my arena right now. You know.
Now, question. Yeah, a couple questions for you on the resistance team. One, have you thought about trying to fit Sidious in there with his expose on his AoE?
I tried, but I don't have a Zeta on Sidious. I tried, and it dropped my score a million. Just he doesn't go enough. But now with the Zeta, every time you kill a turret, then yeah, there's definitely some potential there. I'm not sure I want to invest in him quite yet. But I'm not sure who I guess you would replace. Maybe Pilot. I'm not sure who to replace there.
And then also, hang on, I just completely forgot the question. Yeah,
question for you. Go ahead.
Have they given an ETA on when they're going to fix that bug with exposes on the target?
That's a great point. Yeah, if you do kill somebody with that, if they're exposed, you kill either a target or like a turret, you don't get the turn meter. So it's kind of tricky. You have to expose them, and you really have to know the characters, how much they damage. You know, because you don't want to kill the turret. You just want to whittle it down. Because if you do kill that turret, you don't get the turn meter. I do think you get but you don't get that turn meter.
Yeah, because I know they've acknowledged that it's a bug and they're looking on it, but I haven't heard anything else about it since then.
I haven't either. Now, if they fix that, I mean that's huge. I mean you're talking. You probably talk $3.5 million on P2, because then you don't have to spend so much time like planning who to expose with whom and how to kill them. And
you know, all things considered, since the last new update is labeled quality of life updates, I hope that a lot of these little, like the stealth bugs and little mechanics like that will be fixed, since we only know the 2 out of 10 that the updates will be right now.
Yeah, I mean, I can hope for that stealth fix. I don't see it happening because, I mean, they've come out and said that it would require a massive overhaul of how the buff system works in order to get the Tebow bug to get fixed. Because basically what it is right now it's just replacing buffs, and somehow they're going to have to completely like rework it so that whichever buff has a longer duration, it lasts. I don't know how they would do that, but the way they talk about it does not sound easy.
I'm not a very good programmer, but it doesn't make sense why that would be so hard to reprogram.
So, you know, I think it has to do with actually like pretty much just taking the existing Tebow and scrapping it all together and making like a brand new character, maybe.
You heard it here first, folks. Tebow rework coming in March.
You heard it here first.
Isn't the consensus on Tebow that if they did actually fix him, he would be so overpowered for the Rancor?
Yeah.
More overpowered than the broken Darth Vader right now?
Yeah, can we talk about that broken Zader?
Well, Zader's gotten nerfed twice, and he's only like he went from doing 1 million in the million damage on average for a lot of people in the heroic AT. Now he's down to like 500. I mean, what else do you guys want on that?
Actually, Mole, you were saying this earlier. I'd like to hear that.
He's destroyed. Yeah, you do not want to use. Right? You do not want to use Zader in Phase 3. He the main thing is the Cackling Doom for Palpatine apparently no longer triggers Terminator reduction. So if you have all the droids shocked and then you try to use his basic attack on the main droid, it no longer reduces the turn meter on the B1 droids around. So, yeah, apparently you're just going to have those B1 droids going a lot. And, yeah, it's not pretty, but, I mean, they made up for that by making Zader completely broken so that he always removes all turn meter from the Rancor.
Yeah.
So I'm in the middle of, if we change pace, so I'm in the middle of gearing up Churret right now, and it made me realize something. When they come out with these new characters, because we're getting a lot of them, the gear requirement these guys are taking is like another level of gear crunch. Like the gear crunch right now, everybody talks about the gear crunch. The gear crunch right now is not like in 2 months and maybe less than that. It's going to be the issue, I think, because we're going to have moved on to these newer players they keep giving us. I guarantee. Has anybody seen the gear? Does Star Wars SWGOH.GG, does it even have Nihilus's gear requirement? It's got to be insane, right?
So, Nihilus is actually not that bad.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, he's very Palpatine-ish. A lot of blue gear.
Okay.
Yeah, he needs a lot of the Mark V power cells and a lot of the Mark III detonators. Sith Trooper is in a very close race with Boba Fett for the title of Gear Hog now.
God, dude.
He requires a ton. Of course, I can't act.
He's Sith. Yeah, that makes sense that Sith assassin would be a syringe junkie, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pulling up Sith Trooper right.
So, I've already got Sith Trooper at Gear 8, and I can tell you to get him to Gear 9 is going to be a pain.
Yeah, he needs 5 Mark III stun cuffs, 4 Mark III Carbontes, 3 Mark 8 biotech implants. That's the gold pieces.
I feel like at this point, though, I feel like this is costing EA money. So, like, for me personally, I'm looking at these $19.99 packs for Maul, which I could use. I'd only have him at, like, he's right under 6 stars for me. Same with Dooku. And, like, I would like to work on those characters. I really would with the rework. The problem is, I can't, like, gear-wise, they would be, like, 20th in the priority list for me right now, so it doesn't even make sense to spend money on the shards. Like, shards are not something I would even drop funds for, because the gear crunch is just, makes the shards irrelevant. Of course I'm going to have the shards by then. Is anybody else seeing that? I feel like they're just shooting themselves in the foot here with the ridiculous gear crunch, and I think it's going to get worse.
Yeah, I mean, well, this is something they mentioned on the Galactic War Report when they're talking to Jesse, is one of them basically said, this gear crunch, it is bad. And Jesse basically said, yeah, it's bad, and they said something along the lines of, they're quote-unquote looking into it.
He said they were looking into it for certain gear, though. And the way he said it made me think, like, oh, it's going to be like, everybody gets level 3 mics or some junk or like that. Which
Hey, you know those Mark IV hair dryers that you have 2,000 of in your inventory? Well, here's another 1,000.
Yeah, exactly. Like the way he said it, I was just like, this isn't really going to do anything. And, there's always going to be a choke point. Like, I don't want to be, we're always complaining about something, because it used to be the credit crunch, and now then they gave us the, the credit heist. But I feel like I can't get excited about shards when, I'll have everybody 7-starred by the time, months before I get their gear done. I mean, it's just, I don't know.
Well, going on to that, if you look into your event tab now, the Places of Power event should now be live there, so you can look at it. And I mean, looking at these rewards, I mean, half of these purple gear is junk that we already have so much of. Like Mark 6 biotech implants, Mark 4 stun guns that Joker just made. We have 2,000 of those. I mean, half this stuff here is stuff like we don't need it really. I mean, there's Mark 3 stun cuffs. There's the Mark 3 tenacity discs, and that's about it that, like, we have a pressing need for.
I wonder if they would, because, speaking for myself and newer players, other than you seasoned veterans, like, those rewards look really good to me, but I don't know why they don't adapt the rewards for these events to scale to your level,
Yeah, that's exactly true. Like if they would adapt the rewards, you could even do that in raids, because if you're in the heroic AAT raid or even the T6 or the normal heroic or the normal AAT raid, you're getting gear that you can't use yet because you need the purple gear still.
Yeah, and also that they have some sort of algorithm to know what you're looking for. Because anytime I'm going through my roster and tapping on gear I need, suddenly the next refresh in shipments, it shows up that I can buy it. So I'm like, well, they know what I'm looking for, so why don't the challenges and the events match what I'm looking for, or what I actually need or could equip anytime in the near future, Well,
it is a business. They want you to spend 1,400 crystals.
Yeah, dude. So hey guys, I think this is a good time to start wrapping up. So I think we have had a really good first go at this. We don't have a schedule for when we're going to do these, but we do want to do them regularly. So anybody who's listening, check back on the website. We'll definitely keep everybody posted. But I don't want to just cut out. I want to go through one more question. I want to know over the next till the end of March. So from now till the end of March, give me one character that you're super excited about that you're working on. I just want to go down the line of who I'm looking at on Discord. McMull.
Why do I have to be first?
It was Sith Assassin, but then you changed, right?
Yeah, I was going to be working on Assassin until I realized she's T-Boy 2.0 with Zal, so I'm reevaluating my Zeta priorities and who I'm going to be working on next.
Okay, Death Rattle. I know you're not. I know you haven't been in on the voice part. Tell me over text who you're going to be working on the next month and a half. Well, we're waiting on Death Rattle. EW, give it to me.
Sith Trooper.
Sith Trooper, got to get him up. Death Rattle's already got that G10 Sith Trooper. He's showing off in the text chat right now. I'll post that on the website. Good old Maurice.
Sherpa.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, Dooku shocks now. Palpatine's going to go a lot.
Okay, all right.
Wait, can you actually, Maurice, can you elaborate on that? I want to understand what you just said there.
Well, Dooku's lightning fast, right? So he shocks. Then when Palpatine shocks, he gets, what, the extra 20% turn meter? Right? And it just goes on and on and on. Basically P3 on speed with Dooku.
So this is specifically for Part 3?
No, just to have available.
Very cool.
He likes Turbo.
Okay. Naughty, what about you, buddy?
I guess Nihilus. Actually, I'm a little behind the curve, so Wedge is the guy that I'm working on right now. I'll have Anakin 7 stars in the next couple days, but
dude, there's no shame working on Wedge, man. I love Wedge, dude. Yeah, no, Wedge is the man, dude. Methos, what about you, buddy?
I have Palpatine and TIE Fighter Pilot 7 stars, and I just got my 3 tanks for Phase 3.
Nice, buddy.
Ready. Sunfac, Shore Trooper, and Imperial Guard, so I'm just excited to get those 3 tanks up to par.
Dude, nice, man. Yeah, dude, Royal Guard I feel like he's the underrated hero, dude. He comes in handy. Anytime I find my arena team underpowered, plug RG in there for a couple weeks while I'm working on somebody else. At least hold steady for me. What about Morningstar, dude? What are you working on, buddy? Next 6 weeks.
Since I just unlocked the Zeta Challenge, I will be doing my best to acquire Zeta.
That's right, dude. Thank you so much for reminding me. So check out the website, swgohindepth.com, and we have a new feature on there. It is a guide to farming Zetas. So I looked around, and there wasn't a lot of material, a lot of content out there on like what you have to do with ships to get Zetas. So if you have a really strong ship game going on, you're like, oh, that was easy. It's not a big deal. If you don't, because I don't, it's a challenge. So check that out. Check out the Zeta farm part of the website. It's right at the top. And when you get to the end of that, there's a video Morningstar and I worked really hard on. It is literally the first battle where he unlocks. Not unlocks, 3 stars the Zeta Challenge. So we literally, he went from not being able to farm them to getting them on farm in that battle. We break it down. We have captions on there, showing you literally the strategic stuff to do in the battle, kill order, everything. So thanks a lot for working with me on that, dude. It was real fun working with you on that.
Hey, you know what also up is that Cam, I noticed in the last 24 hours, posted a video on farming Zetas.
Dude, you're so right. Cam, can you tell us about that, man? I just saw that.
Okay, so I kind of took a jump when ships came out to farm TIE Fighter. I can actually look at the thing right now while I'm talking to you guys. And basically, a lot of ships that appear often in Galactic War are like Biggs, Ahsoka, Jedi Consular, Wedge. So I knew to farm. I kind of just went all in on ships for the first 2 months that the update came out to make sure I could get them 5-star ASAP. But really, the hard part for me was kind of getting those 8 ships to 5 stars. So anytime you see Slave 1, you want to that ship because it's a great arena viable and it doesn't appear often. So you got to make sure you have enough currency to buy it.
Definitely,
Can
dude.
you post a link to that in voice general?
Yeah, well, I'll get that up on the website. And Cam, who are you working on the next 6 weeks? I'm sorry I skipped you, dude. It looked like your mic was off. I didn't know if you'd stepped away. So give us your farewell, who you're working on, what you're excited about until now from the end of March, buddy. He's busy. We'll come back. My name is Sue. What about you, buddy?
So I'm really excited if they release Jim.
Oh, go ahead, dude. Go ahead, Ken.
Oh,
You're good.
sorry. I think I lost you for a little bit. I'm really excited if they release Jin Urso.
In the Chromium packs?
Or just in general, like if they just release her like for Cantina.
Oh, it's going to be a bit.
Great for Rancor, because I don't really know how long Zader will last before the rest of the Sith meta kind of takes over with Darth Nihilus. But I'm also really looking forward to Nihilus. So that's kind of what I'm always like planning ahead because I only have limited gear, so I want to make sure my gear is used wisely, so it doesn't go to waste like in the next 2 weeks.
She may be the best light side like NPC, like PvE character in the game.
Yeah, and I mute my mic just like if something happens in the background doesn't disrupt the flow.
Oh, for sure, buddy. Yeah, you're good. I just wanted to let you know I wasn't trying to skip you. That's all. Sue, what are you excited about, dude?
Well, I'm still kind of like behind on a lot of things. I'm still trying. We're at T6 AAT right now, so we're still trying to put stuff together.
We got players we have players on this chat. I should have said this when we started. We have players on this chat at every level of the game. So I mean, sorry to interrupt you, dude. But just so the listeners know, like this is not in-game stuff here. I mean, we have people from they've been playing the game for a month and a half to people who are from the beginning, whale the whole way through. So it's a nice way to get a lot of perspectives. What were you saying, Sue? Sorry, dude.
I'm actually looking forward to getting TIE Fighter Pilot up and running, like, really well.
Nice. I love TIE Fighter Pilot. He's so much more fun than Chirpa. I'm late on Chirpa because I had so much fun with TIE Fighter Pilot. Omega, what about you, buddy?
Well, I just got the Zader, and I'm really happy with it. I can use my Marina. I can solo the Rancor raid, and he's good for phase 2 or 3. But I'm really looking forward to what's going to be the counter to this Sith meta, which I'm thinking is going to be Jedi.
So you're one of those guys that keeps ripping up my Rex team in Arena right now with Zader, dude. Zader's a beast, man. He really is. I don't have him. He kicks my rear in Arena every day, and it really makes me sad.
I'm really actually more excited about Sidious, to be honest. I think.
Really? Why is that?
A lot of fun.
What's Sidious's Zeta? I know he has one, but I don't know what it is.
Oh, it gives him.
He gains health equal to his potency percentage.
Okay.
And turn meter when he kills people and health. He's insane, and he's gonna go a lot against when he kills droids or ads or anything. He's gonna go over and over.
Plus, he gets 50% potency.
Yeah.
Well, we were talking
50% potency.
We were talking in public voice chat about it the other day, but I mean, in theory, if you were to build a really tanky Sith team around him, like build it the opposite of the way we kind of think we should now, with lots of damage, build him really tanky health and protection, run him as leader, and that's a kind of a timeout team because he gains 2% for critical hit, like everybody does, right?
If you can get those guys to survive or evade or something like that. It might be dangerous because the team's just going to get hit harder and harder and harder as the battle goes on.
Well, and aren't you going to get
offense?
Aren't you going to get a under a Nihilus lead? All that, like you beef up the protection on under a Nihilus lead, and everybody's going to have all that turn into health, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be beastly, dude. It's going to be scary beastly.
Critical hit.
What was that?
So
Sorry.
You have to build offense mods.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, if you can't get, so if you've got a player, and when we talk about Empire, they're not crit hit dependent in the same way Rebels are. Just for newer players listening in. So if you've got a player that you want for them to hit harder, but you're never going to realistically get their crit chance up past like 45-50%, that's when you want to go for offense mods, because the offense mods, will give you some power without getting on the crit hit register. Panda, what about you, buddy? What are you working on the next 6 weeks?
Oh, without a doubt, Rogue One characters.
All right, man. Any specific one? Who's your favorite Rogue One character? It's probably Jyn because she's beautiful. That's why she's mine.
Oh, no, the tragic duo, Jyn and Cassian.
Cassian, oh yeah, dude. Cassian. I bought some of these new. I think I just said this, yeah. But
Panda, does that mean you're buying chromiums, or I mean, how are you working on these characters? How are you doing that?
Well, that's my game plan in the end. Once they add the Sith to the chromiums.
Well, they're in the chromiums now, but the drop rate on cash-ins in the chromiums is horrible, dude. It's terrible.
But Panda, the question is, are you just gearing them up and leveling them up right now and giving them ability mats and hoping for shards in the future?
That's one way to look at it, but I like to go all in.
Panda's going to buy the chromiums, guys. It is what it is. I mean, he's going all in, baby.
Baller.
That's right. Baller all day long,
Panda,
dude.
Panda. Hey, I have a Panda joke for you.
Oh, no.
This is for you, Panda. So, a panda walks into a bar, and then he says, I want some food, and then he has a couple drinks, and then he just busts out a machine gun and starts blowing the whole place away. And then the bartender's like, what the hell, man? Why would you do that? And he's like, look up panda in the dictionary. And he looks it up in the dictionary. I don't know why the bartender would have a dictionary for this joke. Sorry. But, he looks it up, and it says, panda, a bear in China who eats, shoots, and leaves. And
This is why we have to use commas correctly, guys. We got to use commas correctly. And what we're going to talk about, you know what? I'm really glad actually that Nadi brought up grammatical correctness as this game, because when it comes to Sith, we're going to be talking about Sith all the time. Sith plural is just Sith. Okay, so don't put an S at the end of Sith and say Siths. It's disgusting.
Wait, what? That's what you took out of that joke? That was a good joke, man.
It's obviously Siths.
Seath, man. It's Seath. All right.
Seath.
Hey, one thing I wanted to let you guys know, too, there's this new event, like something like Places of Power that requires First Order and Sith. It comes out in like 2.5 days.
Ooh.
So that's pretty interesting, too. I think it gives Jedi shards, so...
Is that so it's not an Omega battle, it's like a Jedi farming battle?
It's an assault event, if you remember.
It's 8 waves of Jedi.
Oh, golly.
So you better get your Darth Maul up now.
That's right, buy that pack, baby.
Sending that one out.
Buy that pack, $19.99. You got to get it. Star Killer.
Darth Maul can be yours for only $20.
That's right. And so that's actually a good point when we talk about money. So I want to tell you about the Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes Patreon site. We don't have a Patreon site. We don't want your money. Spend all of your money on chromium packs like Panda. That's what we want you to do. Maybe maybe take your kids out for ice cream, you know. Star Killer, what about you, buddy? What are you working on the next 6 weeks, man?
Hey, man, I just brought Darth Maul. So
yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
You running his ship in Ship Arena too?
No, I haven't gotten that yet. I've been putting up my focus on Slave 1.
Nice,
so
dude.
Like 1 shard away from 5-star in it right now.
I just had, literally tonight, I had 500 ship currency left, and I had both Scimitar, Darth Maul's ship, and I had Slave 1 pop up, and I'm trying to work on both, and it was like an existential crisis for me, dude. I literally spent 15 minutes on that decision. It was pretty sad. The Father, what about you, buddy? The Father, you know what you're working on the next 6 weeks? I think we might have lost the Father. It's getting late at night. Valis, what about you, buddy?
In the meantime, I think Tusken Shaman.
That's right. You were just talking about that today, man. Get into that. Why are you working on Tusken Shaman?
I've watched a couple of videos with Zader and P2, and they're doing 3 million damage. And
it's gotten higher.
Can you link one of those videos? I've never seen it.
Yeah, we got to get one of those. So Tusken Shaman is not doing the damage himself. He's not he's not the damage guy. What's his mechanism in these teams? What's he doing?
Well, he's a healer, and for Vader. Yeah, he's a healer. So.
Okay.
And he gives offense up.
That's true. Yeah, he gets a buff when he heals. I'll tell you what. If you guys don't know, a lot of people are missing out on an entire part of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Turn the volume up and use Tusken Shaman's special. Okay, it sounds like a dying mule. It is the best sound in this game. Get in your car, plug it in, turn the volume up. It is like, you guys know what I'm talking about? Has anybody heard that?
Yeah.
It's epic, dude.
It sounds even better when it's sped up.
In fact, I'm so glad that this came up, Valis, because now, so this is our inaugural podcast that we're about to end right now, and I've got to make an intro, and the intro is going to start with Tusken Shaman's heel sound. That's going to be what this podcast is known for, actually. So that worked out.
That's awesome.
Hey, you know the sourcing for where that sound came from is banging on electrical cords as well as an actual dying goat.
sound he made when he saw Anakin show up to their camp.
Oh, that's rough. That's a good one, dude. So, you know what? That's a good way to end it, guys. Thank you so much for coming out. If you're listening to this podcast, we should be doing this at least weekly, so check back on the website, www.swgoh.com. We actually have a site specifically for the podcast, SWGOH in-depth podcast.com. So check out either of those sites. We'll get some links up from the stuff we talked about tonight. Thanks so much for coming out.
Bye. Thanks, guys.
Yep, later, guys.
The Force will be with you.